asked you guys for your biggest confessions and you definitely delivered on that. So let's go through some. Okay, the first one's definitely interesting. I've written mpreg fanfiction. See, I don't even know what that means, but I'm presuming that means male pregnancy fanfiction. I mean, whatever floats your boat, to be honest. Whatever floats your boat. But that is a weird thing that floats your boat. I mean, go for it. Someone said I've shoplifted. Me too, accidentally. So, depends what you shoplifted too, because I feel like if you're stealing like an iPad, what are you playing at? Where if you're stealing like tampons and shit, who stole? You know what I mean? But I accidentally stole a stress ball once because I was in a shop and I was just like fidgeting with it and I just walked out and like no alarms went off. I literally went and took it back because I'm like, scary. Not like anything was gonna happen. It had no tags on it anyway. I probably could have just kept it, but I walked it back because I'm like, I was only like a minute down the road. I actually don't know if I walked it back. I might be lying out my feet actually. Out my feet. That's interesting. Somebody said, oh, this one's concerning. My dad chased my sister with a car and almost killed her. I mean, I don't know why that's your confession. I think your dad should be commenting that one. But it's quite bizarre, to say the least. I hope your sister's okay. I feel like that's what I should say here. I hope she's okay and doing well and all that, and I hope your dad, I don't know, can't get a lot of context by this, but that's insane. I used to watch Gacha Heat pretending to hate it. In brackets, everyone's done it. If you haven't, you're lying. I don't know what that is. I'm not sure that's something I want in my search history, but I'm going to search it anyway. You rotten weirdo. What the helly? Go delete that comment because that is bizarre. Guys, I'm not even going to like watch this, but I fear this tells us enough. This tells us all we need to know. Go delete your comment because that is vile. Gacha. I know what gacha is. I know what that is. But that is bizarre. Everyone's done it. If you haven't, you're lying. I'm not going to say that's just the you experience because I know it definitely isn't. But that is bizarre. I can't lie to you. I had an account in 2021, one of those your name X whoever. I mean, it was lockdown. I fear depending on your age, it's ranking how weird that is. Oh, I don't know, because there was a lot of kids on TikTok. I was going to say if you're older, it doesn't matter as much. But there's a lot of kids on TikTok. It also did just depend on what you're writing. If you're writing, like, scenes, then bizarre. Oh, this is so bad. Why did I make this? Somebody DM'd me this one, and they said, I've had a crush on my dad's best friend's son since we were 4. I don't know, this one's difficult because, like, again, it does depend how old you are now, because if you're like 10, don't move. But if you're like 15, 16, a bit older, a bit younger, go for it. I don't know, it depends how your friendship is, I guess. If it's like a bit flirty and all that, go for it. Go. But just remember, you only live once. This is your time to do it. This is your time. I used to have a fan page. In brackets, not my biggest confession. I used to. Not really that ashamed of that. I think people recognise me from there sometimes. They won't anymore because the wall's all gone, but basically my whole line of content. Oh, this one's quite long. I wrote a whole fanfic about George Clark in Wattpad and my mum saw the comments from it and I lied and said that I was dared to write it when me and my friend planned the whole thing and loved every minute of writing it. You know what? Fair enough, become an author. Like, this is the thing, like people just actually can write and they use it for this. Write a novel, bro. Some people could actually be full-on authors, so if you like it, go for it, honestly. I mean, this is not advice session, but I don't know. I'm giving advice, deal with it. I've watched Grey's Anatomy more than 10 times, 21 seasons. Oh, and I gaslighted someone into thinking they cut my fringe. They cut my fringe, I didn't. I'm a bit confused at that last bit, I'll be so real. But watching Grey's Anatomy 10 times is long, to say the least. I've watched some of it, but I couldn't get past like season 4. I'll be honest, because my attention span is not exactly the greatest of all attention spans, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I don't think that's that bad. I think that's quite normal series to binge watch. It's like Friends, innit? I've watched that a few times. Gaslit someone into thinking they cut my fringe. They cut my fringe, I didn't. But I cut my fringe, I didn't. Makes sense. And fairs. I regret cutting mine. First video flashbacks. Exactly. Sorry, the username for this one adds context that makes it so much funnier in my opinion. The username just, I'm just a girl. And then the comment says, I have 500 plus edits of George Clark in my camera roll. That is so valid. I can't lie. That is the most valid thing anyone has ever said. Go diva. I low-key didn't have enough in my own comments, so I've gone to a comment section. Is it bad that I've watched over 900 of Darman videos in total every day while I'm getting ready? I've memorised most too. Please don't be judgy.
Oh my god.
I'll be so real. I haven't watched a Darman video in a few months because I watched one with a few friends. It was funny, but I used to be the biggest Darman stan. Like I never stand him, sorry, that is the wrong word. I used to love his videos. I'd just be sat there just binging through them for no reason at all. But yeah, I don't think that's that weird. So basically, my best friend, he's gay and has a boyfriend. I swear you could not tell he's gay by his Insta. I'm friends with his boyfriend, but I sort of like him. But I support him, you know? I think it's messy. You not just like find his identical twin instead? Or is it personality? And you just like gay guys because valid, honestly. That is messy. Yeah, just find his identical twin, man. I don't think you can just break him and his boyfriend up. Plus, he doesn't like women. So I fear that makes your situation slightly difficult. Oh, I was about to read this one out, but I don't really ever want to. I'm going to do it anyway. Me and my ex broke up a few days ago. We still talk. And while we were talking, I gooned to him. Yeah, I'm just going to scroll past that one. When I was 7, we had starfish decor and I dropped it in the toilet. I didn't want to reach in the toilet, so I flushed it down. Broke the entire plumbing system and had to buy a new toilet. I did something quite similar to this, actually. I had a little Orby, yeah? You know Orby's like the squishy ball picture there. You know, I'm not even going to try. Stuck one in a pipe in my freezer because there was like a hole there. Like a hole like this big. And I was just like, oh, I'll just stick an Orby in there so I get frozen Orbeez, because that was the coldest part of the freezer when I was like feeling for the coldest bit. So I put it in the hole, and then when I tried to get it out later, I just pushed it further back because it'll be frozen. It wasn't soft anymore. So I just pushed it back, and then it got stuck, and I kept trying to get it out, but I just kept pushing it further and further back because I was doing it with like a knife at this point. And then it just kept going further and further back into, and then I was just like, oh, at this point I'm not even going to try to get it out, I'm just going to push it as far back as I can. Yeah, the freezer broke, leaked water all over the floor because I blocked the whole system out. And yeah, has my dad ever been told about that? No. Did I tell my mum? No. I stabbed a child with a pencil in 6th grade and lied about it, so I didn't get in a lot of trouble. Someone shoved a pen up my nose once because it was none of the like they smell nice. And they went, oh, Ella, smell this. I went, and they just went. What a nice little story time that was. I had my period for almost 2 years now without any breaks. Oh, that's just long, innit? So I'm an amputee, and when I was in high school there was this girl and she was the definition of pick me. One day she made me tumble down the stairs and she said, getaway loser with one hand. So we were submitting essays for colleges or whatever. I can't remember, but I might have thrown her laptop out the window and blamed it on the nerd so no one ever suspected me. I mean, clock it. You know what? If she's being a bully, just teach her. I mean, if I was being bullied, I wouldn't personally throw a laptop out the window. I don't think that would be my first thought that came to my mind. Probably would have maybe just like screamed something back at them. But I feel like throwing a laptop out the window it's valid, but I don't think I would do that. Sorry, this one is funny. When I was 8, I was making Lego Harry Potter characters Smash, and sometimes Hermione would be in a poly with Ron and Harry as the double bottom.
Oh my.
That's so bizarre. That's so bizarre. But when you were 8, how do you even know what that meant? Oh, that is weird as, man. I think on that note we're gonna finish, to be honest, because what the helly merryberry even is that? Make sure to like and subscribe and etc, etc. Here's the Instagram glam, here's a tickle to talk. The video, there's a subscribe button. Go press them. Here's a subscribe of the week because he also spent money on subs on Twitch and I freaking love you. Oh yeah, there's Twitch by the way. And anyway, I love you a lot, and I see you are creep.